We hope that in the current situation, the UN Secretary-General realizes the fullness of his responsibility. And he will not interfere with the implementation of this mission through the accountable department of the Secretariat or through other parts of the UN mechanisms. For our part, we are ready to provide the maximum possible assistance in resolving all organizational issues. We consider it justified that IAEA representatives arrive at the Zaporozhye NPP as soon as possible, maybe even before the end of August. However, not everything depends on us. We cannot give any guarantees that this trip will take place. It is difficult for us to judge what is brewing in the head of the Ukrainian leadership today. They have been shelling the Zaporozhye NPP for several days in a row, despite the fact that the UN Secretary-General called any attacks on nuclear facilities suicide. We consider it unacceptable for the IAEA mission to take place in the conditions of incessant shelling by the Ukrainian military of the nuclear power plant and the territory of the city of Energodar. Kyiv must immediately stop the shelling and ensure that there is no intention to endanger the life and health of international personnel. We call on the states that support the Kyiv regime to besiege their protégés, force them to immediately and permanently stop the attacks on the Zaporozhye NPP and the inhabitants of the city of Energodar, and to provide safe conditions for the work of the IAEA mission. We call on the leadership of the UN and the IAEA to show their leadership and global responsibility and, very clearly, without diplomatic formulas, point out the real sources of threat to the nuclear safety of the Zaporozhye NPP. These are strikes on NPP by the Ukrainian military, and it is necessary to tell the Ukrainian authorities about the inadmissibility of such actions. This is the only way to prevent a major radiation catastrophe on the European continent, the risk of which is now more real than ever. If the attacks by the Ukrainian military continue, this catastrophe could happen at any moment. Then, the following territories will be under the threat of radioactive contamination: Kyiv, Zaporozhye, Kharkov, Poltava, Kherson, Odessa, Nikolaev, Kirovograd, Vinnytsia regions, Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republic, border regions of Russia and Belarus, and also in Moldova, in Bulgaria and in Romania. I want to emphasize that every time the military of Ukraine shelled the Zaporozhye NPP, the catastrophe was avoided only thanks to the selfless joint actions of the plant workers and Russian military personnel, who provided them with comprehensive emergency assistance. The necessary fire and emergency units, as well as Russian military personnel, work hand in hand. This clearly indicates that absolutely normal interaction has been established between the Russian military and Ukrainian specialists of the station.